Hello, everybody. In chapter 42, we delve deeper into the intricate relationship between G action and behavior. We've learned that at the same behavior can result from different G activations, a phenomenon that we call same behavior, different G. But how can we identify the specific G activation behind a behavior? Is the behavior genuine or feigned? To answer these questions, we need to classify the possible G activations that could lead to the behavior and investigate the individual's environmental history. For example, in the case of a patient who exhibits daily episodes of madness, we should examine whether they have experienced events related to this behavior and pay attention to the chronological order of these events. Additionally, we should consider the details and expected outcomes to determine if the behavior is feigned. It's crucial to remember that the patient might be engaging in a form of game theory, and even if the behavior is feigned, doctors should approach the situation with compassion and understanding, avoiding discrimination. Beyond same behavior, Beyond same behavior, different you, we also know that the same behavior can be accompanied by entirely different behaviors, a phenomenon we call different behaviors same presentation. For instance, a gladiator might shake their hips while fighting, or someone might chat, watch TV, and eat sunflower seeds simultaneously while sitting with their legs crossed and swing. This multitasking is an inherent state of human and animal due activity. Even during sleep, the heart continues to beat, the respiratory muscles move, and the intestines peristalsis, all driven by various instinctive Gs. In other words, our bodies are comprehensive entities capable of performing multiple tasks simultaneously. When we say someone is doing something, we are referring to the most obvious or primary set of behaviors they exhibit during a specific time period. This set can be broken down into multiple distinct behaviors. For example, the behavior of running away in fear involves leg movement, arm swing, and even screaming. Therefore, due to the strong correspondence between due and behavior, we can use the principles of combinability and multi-significance to study behavior, making it easy to understand phenomena like same due, different behaviors, and different dues, same behavior. Studying G theory requires a dialectical philosophical perspective. If we consider the combined G formed by multiple G waves in the vector effect, the magnitude of the resultant force determines the intensity of the behavior, reflecting the activation level of this combined G. From this perspective, revisiting the concepts of G activation state Energy can provide a deeper understanding. The principles of combinability and multi-significance are powerful tools. However, it's important to note that G is not infinitely divisible. In the neural system, there must be a minimum function unit, just as a combined G can't be infinitely merged. Of course, from a philosoph- philosophical perspective, G can be extended infinitely into directions. Let's return to the topic of different behaviors. Same presentation and same behavior, different G. From the instinctive G that ultimately produces the effect, the original behaviors can be slowed, interrupted, or even reserved due to the activation of other Gs. For example, a primary school student might slow down when they see many cars on their way to school. A scholar might be deeply engrossed in thought when suddenly an image of vast beauty flashes in their mind, leading to a few seconds of distraction before returning to their original thought. An employee might hesitate while on their way to deliver a gift to their boss, retracting their steps before finally deciding to proceed. The function curve of a behavior's direction and intensity over time is similar to a stock intraday chart with small trends within the larger trend. Since all behaviors eventually end, the large trend of any behavior will inevitably experience a reversal or stagnation. This reversal and stagnation process is often not abrupt but rather a smoother or repetitive transition, which manifests as small reverse trends. From the perspective of the combined G formed by multiple G's generating the vector fact, this transition is the process of G energy depletion. Additionally, it's worth it's worth noting that behaviors can reshape the original G, since multiple Gs may be activated during the behavior process. The feedback received from the behavior is also multifaceted, leading to multifaceted reshaping of the original G. Therefore, it's possible for an individual's behavior to constantly receive negative feedback from the environment, yet the behavior becomes more stable. For example, Xiaoming might persist in not doing his homework despite repeated criticism from his teacher because he enjoys seeing his teacher's helpless expression or finds his teacher attractive. A gambler might continue gambling despite repeated losses because the process is enjoyable. If Skinner's pigeon experienced pleasure while packing the button, it might continue packing even if food never appeared. Okay, that's all the content today. See you next time. Bye bye.